Most guys spend their lives auditioning for approval, bending over backwards to win a woman's interest. They buy gifts, send long emotional texts, nod along to things they don't believe in, just hoping to hear, "You're the one." But here's the uncomfortable truth. Chasing validation doesn't build attraction, it destroys it. The harder you try to prove your worth, the faster she loses interest. You've been taught to always be available, overly generous, endlessly agreeable, and where has that gotten you? Frustrated, rejected, wondering what went wrong. The reality? You gave her all the power without her asking. You turned admiration into obsession and lost yourself in the process. Women don't want men who orbit around them. They're pulled toward men who walk with direction, who hold their ground, and who know their attention is earned, not given away freely. This isn't about being heartless or cold. It's about emotional discipline, knowing when to lean in and when to hold back. Attraction thrives in balance, not desperation. When you stop giving everything away and start owning your worth, something changes. She starts noticing. She starts pursuing. Respect doesn't come from being nice, it comes from having boundaries. If you're tired of mixed signals, of being ghosted, of always ending up second-guessing your value, this is your wake-up call. You're not here to impress, you're here to lead. And when you show up as the prize, she has no choice but to treat you like one. Let's break it down. Trick number 1, the power of indifference. The moment a man becomes indifferent to a woman's approval, everything changes. Not because he's playing a game, but because he's finally seeing clearly. You stop chasing, stop trying to impress, and start moving through life like a man who knows what he brings to the table. That energy alone separates you from 90% of other men. Most are stuck trying to win her over. You're focused on your path. Women are naturally drawn to challenge, not chaos, but challenge. When they can predict every move you'll make, the mystery fades. But when they're not sure if you'll text back right away, not sure what your next step will be, you become interesting, intriguing. That unpredictability sparks her imagination. And women fall for the image they build in their mind, more than the man in front of them. So if you're always available, always responding, always eager, you kill that image before it even has a chance to form. Think about James Bond. He doesn't need to explain himself. He doesn't chase. He's not rude, but he's detached. He lets women come to him, and they do every single time. Because Bond never acts like a man who's afraid to lose someone. That calm detachment signals value. That's not fiction. That's human psychology. The reason indifference is so powerful is because it forces her to earn your time. When a woman feels like she has to prove herself to you, when she sees that your attention isn't handed out just because she's attractive, she steps into a different role. She respects you. She starts chasing. Not out of desperation, but because she finally sees something worth working for. And it's rare. A man who's indifferent is not emotionally numb. He's selective. He feels deeply, but only for those who've earned a place in his life. He's not chasing validation because his life is already full. Purpose, passion, brotherhood, drive. That's the core. And from that place, he interacts with women. If they bring peace, they stay. If they bring chaos, they're gone. No drama, no back and forth, no apologies. Indifference means your world doesn't stop spinning because of her mood swings. It means you don't fold under pressure when she tests you emotionally. You don't panic when she pulls back. You don't beg for attention. You stay grounded. And she feels that. That emotional independence is magnetic. She sees that you can walk away. And that fear of losing you triggers attraction on a level that words can't explain. It's not about pretending not to care. It's about truly being in a place where you know you'll be fine with or without her. That's the truth most men are scared to live in. But the ones who do, they become unforgettable. Trick number 2. When you care less, she invests more. There's a strange paradox in relationships that most men never grasp. The less you seem to care, the more she begins to. And this isn't about playing mind games or pretending. It's about shifting your focus away from trying to impress her and instead turning it back toward yourself, your goals, your purpose, your world. That's when her behavior starts to change. That's when she starts investing in you. A woman is hardwired to want to earn a high-value man. When you're too available, too giving, too eager to please, you communicate that you're not that man. You become something easy. And easy doesn't inspire effort. Easy doesn't earn respect. That's why the guys who constantly check in, double text, and shower her with compliments too early end up in the friend zone. Meanwhile, the man who is relaxed, grounded, and a little harder to read, he stays in her head. Let's talk about sports for a second. Think about a champion boxer who's at the top of his game. He doesn't beg promoters for fights. He doesn't chase after recognition. He trains, improves, dominates, and the world comes to him. People want to see him fight. Sponsors throw money at him. Journalists write about him. Why? Because he values himself first. He's in demand. That same energy applies to dating. When you're focused on building yourself, your fitness, your finances, your discipline, you naturally become a man that women want to be around. You're not sitting around wondering why she hasn't texted back. You're in the gym. You're locking in your next move. And ironically, it's in that space of detachment that she starts to notice you more. When a woman sees that your time is limited, your attention is earned and your emotions are not tossed around. At every flick of her mood, she adjusts. She puts in more effort. She starts texting first. She starts planning dates. She becomes more affectionate. Not because you forced her to, but because she wants to. That's what caring less does. It pulls the effort out of her. But the moment you slip back into that please like me mode, she starts to retreat. The game changes again and not in your favor. This is especially true with women who are used to being pursued nonstop. They've learned to expect a certain kind of treatment from men. So when you're different, when you're composed, selective, and unbothered, it disrupts her pattern. Now she has to figure you out. Now she's wondering what's on your mind. That curiosity turns into obsession if you stay in your masculine frame. Caring less doesn't mean being cruel. It means being centered. When you move from that place, you force her to decide. Step up or step out. And either way, you win because you're not looking for someone to complete you. You're already whole. Trick number 3, emotional control is your leverage. The man who can control his emotions controls the dynamic, not by dominating the woman, but by mastering himself. Emotional control is not about shutting down or becoming robotic. It's about not reacting to every push and pull she throws your way. That calm presence, that stillness, is what makes you powerful in her eyes. Because most men are emotionally fragile. They break the moment she goes quiet. They spiral when she pulls back. They chase, they beg, and they lose all respect in the process. You see, many women test men emotionally, not maliciously, but naturally. They want to know, are you as solid as you seem? Can you hold your ground when the vibe shifts? When she gets distant, when she throws a little attitude, when she questions your direction, will you collapse or will you hold frame? The man who reacts emotionally, who argues back, who chases after every shift in her tone, he's not seen as strong, he's seen as weak, unreliable, and nothing kills attraction faster than emotional instability. In contrast, a man who stays composed, even when she's moody, even when she pulls away, signals confidence. Think of Stoic warriors in films like Gladiator. Maximus wasn't emotionally erratic. His wife was murdered. His world collapsed. Yet he moved with intention and calm. That kind of composure isn't just cinematic. It's magnetic. Women respond deeply to men who don't crumble under pressure. The most powerful moments you can have with a woman are the ones where you say nothing. Not out of passive aggression, but because you simply refuse to engage in emotional chaos. You don't argue for hours. You don't explain yourself endlessly. You don't overt text trying to fix something that wasn't even broken. You let her sit with the silence. That silence creates space for her to reflect and often return. Because deep down, every woman wants to know that if she loses control, you won't. When you care too much, you overreact. You get anxious when she's not quick to respond. You panic when she pulls back. And that tells her everything she needs to know. You don't have control of yourself. Emotional control isn't about bottling up. It's about managing your response and leading with logic, not impulse. When a woman sees that nothing rattles you, not her games, not her silence, not her sudden coldness, she sees a man she can trust, a man she can lean on, a man she can admire. And here's the twist. The more control you have over your emotions, the more control you have over the entire relationship. You guide the energy. You set the pace. You protect your peace. That's the kind of man she stays up thinking about. Not because you did the most, but because you stayed grounded when most men wouldn't. Trick number 4. She fears losing what she can't predict. A woman loses interest in what feels too easy. That's just the truth. When she knows exactly how you'll respond, exactly when you'll call, exactly what you'll say next, she stops feeling that edge. And once the edge is gone, the desire follows. Predictability in a relationship isn't just about routines. It's about emotional transparency. If you're constantly showing your hand, giving her every ounce of your feelings, always being available, always trying to fix things before she even notices a problem, you remove the mystery. And without mystery, there's no magnetism. Women don't want a man who is overly emotional. They want a man who feels but doesn't fall. A man who leads with calmness, who makes decisions without needing her approval, who can love her but walk away if she disrespects him. That kind of strength is unpredictable to her. It throws her off, and that's what keeps her interested. She doesn't fear losing the man who texts every hour and can't function if she doesn't reply. She fears losing the one who could leave and never look back, not because he's cold, but because he values his peace above everything. Think about The Dark Knight. Bruce Wayne wasn't just mysterious in a costume. Even outside the mask, he was unpredictable. One moment he was emotionally available, the next he was withdrawn. Not in a manipulative way, but in a way that made women unsure of how much of him they actually had. And that uncertainty made him unforgettable. It made them chase. Being unpredictable isn't about playing games. It's about not making her the center of your emotional world. If she knows you have other priorities, your work, your body, your mission, she'll respect you more. She won't take you for granted because she sees you've built a world where she's welcome but not required. And that changes everything. You're no longer the man begging for her love. You're the man she's fighting to stay close to. This doesn't mean you become emotionally unavailable. It means you stop narrating every thought. Stop giving her play-by-play updates of your feelings. You let her wonder a little. You let her think about what you're doing when you're not around. That space, that uncertainty forces her to engage. She texts more. She asks more questions. She starts offering more just to feel secure again. But here's the key. You don't fold. You don't give it all away. You let her earn it. Predictability is a comfort. But comfort breeds laziness. Women don't get lazy with men they're afraid to lose. When you're unpredictable, not erratic, but mysterious, she pays attention. She listens more. She respects the energy you bring because she can't control it. And what she can't control, she learns to value. Trick number 5. Stop over-investing too soon. One of the fastest ways to lose a woman's interest is to give too much too fast. You meet her, you're excited, and before you even know who she really is, you're already texting every morning, planning dates, imagining a future, and she hasn't done a single thing to earn it. That's not romance. It's desperation in disguise. The truth is, the more you invest in her emotionally before she's invested in you, the more you train her to see you as low value. She didn't ask for that attention. You offered it like it was cheap. Men make this mistake constantly. They assume that by showing how serious they are early on, a woman will feel secure and appreciate the effort. But here's what really happens. She gets bored. Not because she's heartless, but because attraction is built on progression. If you skip to the end of the story, there's nothing left for her to experience. The chase is gone. The emotional build-up is gone. You've already handed over the prize, and it wasn't even earned. A woman values what she works for. If you don't let her put in effort, if you don't give her space to wonder about you, if you smother her with attention, you rob her of the opportunity to feel desire. And women need to feel that tension. That's what keeps them hooked. That's what keeps them dreaming about you when you're not around. If you take that away too soon, she has no reason to chase you, because you've already made it clear that she doesn't have to. Think about the difference between a man who walks into a luxury store and one who walks into a dollar store. At the luxury store, there's an air of exclusivity. Not everything is affordable. Not everything is easy to get. He knows he has to earn what's there. At the dollar store, everything's available, cheap and replaceable. When you overinvest early, you turn yourself into the emotional equivalent of a dollar store. And no woman dreams of that. Overinvesting isn't just about money or gifts. It's your time, your attention, your vulnerability. Those things are valuable. And just like money, you shouldn't throw them around without reason. If she hasn't earned it through consistent respect, loyalty, peace, and presence, then she hasn't earned more of you. It's that simple. You don't prove your worth by how much you give. You prove it by how much you withhold until it's deserved. That patience makes you different. It makes you stand out in a sea of men who are too quick to give up their heart to someone who hasn't even proven she can hold it. So, slow down. Let her earn you. That's not arrogance. It's discipline. And that discipline makes you powerful. Trick number 6. The man who walks away wins. Every man has a moment in a relationship where he feels the shift. The tone changes. She's not as present. Her energy feels distant. She becomes less affectionate, more critical, or just flat out confusing. And that's the moment where most men panic. They lean in harder. They try to fix what isn't being said. They explain. They beg. They overcompensate. And in doing so, they lose the very thing that kept her attracted in the first place, his power. The man who wins is not the one who holds on tighter. It's the one who is willing to walk away. A woman may not consciously test your ability to walk away, but trust this on a subconscious level. She's always aware of it. She knows when a man is scared to lose her. And once she senses that fear, everything changes. She stops respecting him. She stops chasing because why would she invest in someone who's already emotionally owned by her presence alone? Walking away isn't about being cold-hearted. It's about having boundaries that you refuse to compromise for the sake of keeping someone around. If her behavior disrespects your peace, if she's hot and cold, if she plays games or withdraws affection to manipulate you, then you don't negotiate. You leave. Not with drama, not with shouting, just a calm, quiet exit. Think about athletes who've mastered their craft. Tom Brady didn't chase teams. The best teams wanted him because he knew his value. He walked away from situations that no longer aligned with his vision. That's strength, and strength attracts. Women are drawn to men who don't fear the end of a relationship because those men are grounded in themselves. You have to live with the mindset that you are the prize. That any woman who enters your life is stepping into something you've already built. You're not out here hoping for love to complete you. You are complete. And if she brings value, she can stay. If not, she can go. No attachment, no resentment, no emotional chaos, just clarity. The ability to walk away creates a psychological shift in the dynamic. Now she has to rise to meet your standard. She realizes she can't slack. She can't be inconsistent because you don't need her. You chose her, but you don't need her. That's what separates you from the rest. Most men will tolerate anything to keep a woman around. You, on the other hand, walk away the moment she starts slipping below your standard. And that decision, that backbone, that strength, it sticks with her. Ironically, the moment you become willing to walk away is the moment she often comes back stronger. Not because of manipulation, but because she now sees who you really are, a man who knows his worth. Trick number 7. Being the prize, not the pursuer. There's a shift that happens in a man's life when he stops chasing women and starts building a life that draws them in. It's not loud, it's not flashy. It's a quiet confidence, a calm, powerful energy that says, I know who I am, and I'm not here to prove it to anyone. That's the man who gets chosen not because he begged, not because he played games, but because he carried himself like the prize. Most men grow up believing they have to do all the chasing. Movies show the guy winning the girl after grand gestures, sacrifices, and emotional breakdowns. But life doesn't work like that. In the real world, the more you chase, the more she runs. The more you try to win her over, the less she respects you. And that's because pursuit without purpose reeks of neediness. The man who is the prize doesn't pursue from emptiness. He allows things to unfold naturally because he's already fulfilled. He's building something bigger than a relationship. He's building a legacy. And when a woman sees that, when she feels that, she wants to be part of it. She wants to be in that orbit because your energy makes her feel something different. Safe, yes, but also excited, inspired, and a little unsure of where she stands. That mystery is magnetic. Think of Tony Stark in Iron Man, not just a tech genius, but the way he moved. Confident, purpose-driven, a little reckless, but unapologetically himself. He didn't chase anyone. He simply lived at full volume, and the world followed. That's what it looks like to be the prize. You don't alter your path to fit someone else's. You stay locked in, and they adjust to you. Women don't want to lead the dance. They want a man who knows how to set the rhythm. But you can't do that if you're constantly adjusting your steps to keep her from leaving. Being the prize means you're okay with walking alone if no one can match your pace. It means you don't tolerate disrespect just to keep someone around. It means you're focused on your purpose, your fitness, your money, your mindset, and anyone who wants a place beside you needs to bring more than just looks. When a woman feels she has to earn your respect, not just your affection, she operates differently. She puts in more effort. She brings peace, not chaos. She listens, not argues, and she respects your time because she knows it's valuable. Stop running after her. Let her come to you. That doesn't make you passive. It makes you powerful because you flip the script. You're no longer trying to prove your worth. You're evaluating hers. And in that space, attraction isn't forced. It's natural, it's earned, and it lasts. When you stop caring too much, everything changes. Women are drawn to men who value themselves first. Men who walk with purpose, hold emotional control, and never fear walking away. You don't need to play games or become cold, you just need to stop proving and start being. Be the man whose life is full, whose presence is rare, and whose attention must be earned. When she sees you as the prize, she moves differently. You won't have to chase. She'll make sure you never leave. This is your power. Own it and never hand it over again. And remember, if you're serious about mastering the dating game, don't miss out on my exclusive online course soon. We go beyond what's covered in these videos, giving you powerful insights from the first approach to lasting attraction. I want to appreciate you for taking your time to watch till the end of this video. I hope the video helps you improve every aspect of your relationship with women. Until next time, see you.